So we have the school librarian, first knowledge from library. Publisher claims the book is written at a 5th grade reading level. Okay, that's important. The level is 5. The librarian suspects the reading level is higher than that. This is also a clue with where we're going later. Remember, mark these things in the paragraph. Librarian selects a random sample. We need to know that, don't we? Okay? 40 pages, also important. That's our N. A standard they use a standard readability test, which I'm having trouble reading, to assess the reading level of each page. Here we go. The mean level is 5.2. Standard deviation of 0.8. Do these data give convincing evidence at a 0.05 significance level? The average reading level is greater than 5. Okay, so those are all the key things we need to identify in that paragraph moving forward. Remember, if it did not tell us this, we assume that. If we're not told the significance level, we always go with 0.05. So let's just move through it. We have our steps here. Let's go through it. 1, we define mu, or funky u. So our funky u is the true mean, and then we always start off every time, true mean. And then just look, what is it talking about? It's talking about reading level. I can abbreviate RDG, level. Okay? So it's the true mean reading level. Just look at the paragraph and see what the whole thing is about. It's about reading levels. Okay? Now what else do we need? We need our X bar, right? And our X bar is 5.2. It says right in here the mean reading level. Mean is X bar. We need our N. How many were sampled? It said 40. And then we need our alpha, which is 0.05. Okay? We got one done. I am going to put the standard deviation, even though it's not required, it just helps identify everything. So we got an SD of 0.8. All right. So we got one complete. Moving on to number 2, section 2. All right. 2, write our hypothesis. That's our ho and our ha. Ho and ha. Now, we're going to have mu on both of these, and we know it's a 5 on both. Okay? It told us it was 5 pages. All right, or reading level of 5. That's great. Remember, the numbers are always the same. You don't have to write this when you're doing it, but I say for the notes to mark this. It is the same. That number does not change. Now we have to look at what is the paragraph telling us. Is it less than, not equal to, or greater than? And the last sentence we think we underlined here was greater than 5. So we're going to put greater than. Okay? Again, it's always going to be in the paragraph. Step 3, check conditions. Well, random, question mark, check, it was given to us. It said in a random sample. So that was good. We look at the paragraph for normality. Did it say it was normally distributed? It did not. Okay? Since it did not, we got to do the 30 check. Good. And the 30 check means we have to have greater than or equal to, which we do, we have 40. So we're good to go. We're done with step 3. 4. Do the math. That's why we're here, right? T equals our X bar, which is 5.2, minus our mu, which is 5. All this information comes from above. Divided by our standard deviation, which is also divided by the square root of our number, which is 40. So how do we do this? In our calculator. Remember, practice this as much as possible. We are going to turn it on. We're going to hit alpha y equals. That's going to set us up with a fraction right there. Okay? We're going to type in 5.2 minus 5, or you can just do it in your head and get 0.2. It's up to you. Then we put 0.8 divided by the square root of 40. And we get 1.58111. We're going to write 1.58. Okay? That is our t-score. It is a positive t-score, which means we're going to be shading to the right. So, for number 5, we're at that point. We draw our beautiful little distribution here. We mark 0, 1, 2, 3. Real rough. 1.58, we'll say approximately right here. We're not measuring. Fill it in and shade the tail. All right. Now we're going to do our TDCF. I can't spell TCDF. TCDF. Remember, easy way to do this, and you have it written in your notes from yesterday. We hit second bars. We hit number 6. You should be practicing this on your calculator. Now, since we're going to the right, our number 1.58 is our lower. For our upper, we put 999. And our DF, we didn't say, but our DF is going to be 40 minus 1, which is 39. And we just hit enter a few times. That's the layout. Remember, it puts lower, upper, DF. And there we go. 0.061. Now, careful here. The 9 tells us to round that 0 up to 1. So we end up with 0.0611. That is our score, our p-value. We're done. We're ready to write our statement. Yeah. Quick sidebar. We talked about this yesterday. When you have a positive t-score, okay, you're always going to be going to the right. So our maximum is going to be positive 999. That's our upper, which means our lower is going to be our t-score. So we put on our t-score, 999, and then our degrees of freedom. If our t-score is negative, that means we're going towards the left, towards negative 999. So that's our lower. Then our upper is the negative t-score, and then our degrees of freedom. Okay? Moving on. Step 6. Everybody's favorite part. Since my p-value of 0.0611 is greater than my alpha of 0.05, we fail to reject the hoe, or the null hypothesis. Okay? We don't have, we don't have convincing evidence and then we just copy from what we put our mu as. True mean reading level, you can abbreviate if you want to, is greater than 5. And again, where do we get that from? Our ho and our ha. Our ha was stating that the mu was going to be greater than 5. Since we failed to reject the ho, we don't have enough evidence to say it is above 5. Second one, example 2. Student researchers Haley, Jeff, and Nathan saw an article on the internet claiming that the average vertical jump for teens was 15 inches. Okay? There's our average right there. They wondered if the average vertical jump of students at their school differed. Key point. Notice it did not say they're wondering if it's greater than 15. They didn't say they wonder if it's less than 15. They said differed. As soon as you see that, you know they're talking about that. You might want to mark that in the notes, that it's not equal to. Okay? Differ from just means it's either 15 or not. We're not guessing which direction. So they obtained a list of students' names and selected a random sample of 20. After contacting the students several times, they finally convinced them to have their vertical jumps measured. Here's the data. So here's the problem. We don't have anything. All we have is they did tell us alpha is 10%. So we are not going to use 0.05 this time. But other than that, We don't got anything. So we need to go into our calculator. This is a good time to practice this. So, stat, edit. Everybody should be doing this. To clear your list, you go up, hit clear, come back down. And then you enter this in. I'm going to hit pause and just enter these in. All right. So after you have your 20 numbers in, we go back to stat. We go over to calculate. We hit enter. And we just hit enter a bunch of times. And here we go. This is the information we need. Okay? Okay, again, stat. You go to calculate and hit enter a bunch of times. That's it. So here we have all the information we need. We have our X bar of 17. Remember, we're using SX, not the funky OX, so 5.368, so 5.37. Our N is 20. It's right there. So we have everything we need to write out number 1. So, number 1, define our mu. Mu is the true mean vertical jump. Of course, you could get, true vertical jump of teenagers, whatever, but that's enough. True mean vertical jump. Right? From our calculator, we write our X bar, which was 17. We write our standard deviation just to have it, which was 5.37. Another good reason to have it written down. We have our N is 20, and our alpha was given to us at 0.10. We're done with 1. We're ready to move on to 2. So for number 2, our ho and our ha. Mu 15. Mu not equal to 15. Those are our 2 choices. And remember, in case you're write this down maybe for notes, it said in the passage different from. That was what clued us into the fact that we were doing a not equal. There was no word like greater than, less than, more than, above, below, just different, which means not the same. Let's save some space here. Number 3, check our values. Random. Question mark. Yep, it was given. It said it was random. Normality. Normal. Okay? It does not say that it was normally distributed. And our N is only 20. So that's a big old no. So we have to write down, proceed with caution. There might be one like this on your review for the quiz. I don't know. So if it does not meet those circumstances, the requirements, you write proceed with caution. Take it with a grain of salt, in other words. Number 4, we just do our math. Wow, that was weird. T equals our X bar minus our mu, divided by standard deviation, which is also divided by the square root of 20. That gives us a degree of freedom of 19. When I type that in my calculator, I get 1.67. Moving on to number 5. Now, remember, since this is a not equals, we're going to mark 1.67, but we're also going to mark negative 1.67 because this is a two-tailed situation. Now I'm going to run my TCDF. I'll pull my calculator. Now, what did I get for t-score? I got 1.67, so that's what I'm putting in. So I go to second bars, 6. My t-score is 1.67. I'm going to 999. And my DF is 19 this time. And I hit enter a few times. And I get 0.0557 when I round. So I get 0.0557. But that is just that area right there. All right? That's the one tail. Now, technically, I could put negative 999, negative 1.67, and run it again, but that's silly. Because all I have to do is just double this. Because this is actually the same area as over here. You might want to draw those arrows to remind yourself. That's why we're doubling it, which gives us 0.1113. Now we get to our last step. Since my p-value which was 0.1113 is greater than my alpha, close, 0.10. It's definitely greater than 0.05, but it's also greater than 0.10. We fail to reject the hoe. Or the null hypothesis. We don't have convincing evidence might as well cross this out right now because we're not going to do that for homework. We don't have convincing evidence the true mean vertical jump is not 15. That's it. Now, the homework, instead of that page on the book, is just a review, which is technically day 4.